Hi, I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach, and this is the Organize Your Life podcast. I am passionate about organizing because it makes my clients' lives so much easier, makes them more relaxed, and gives them more time to spend the way they want to. In every podcast, I will talk about an organizing, decluttering, productivity, or time management concept, and I'll tell you why it's important. I'll also include an action step at the end so you can start practicing right away. I'm based in Berkeley, California, but I work with clients all over the world. You can find me on the Live Coach website, where I offer coaching via phone or video chat or messaging. Live Coach is running an offer right now where you can get a $50 Amazon gift card if you hire me. To find me there, visit livecoach.io, click Find a Coach, and then enter my name, Claire Tompkins, in the search box. I'd love to chat with you there. If you have questions or would like me to talk about a particular topic, shoot me an email at claire@cluttercoach.net. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, here we go. Today's podcast is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to share with you a special report that I wrote that's available if you go to my website, called 30 Minutes to Less Clutter. Can you spare half an hour? What if it would make the following half an hour twice as productive? And the hour after that too. Spending time on organizing is a great investment because it always gives you a high return, unlike other investments these days. Okay, here's how to start. Figuring out how to start is often the hardest part of decluttering. Here's the big secret. It doesn't really matter. You just need to make a decision and do it. Here, I'm going to suggest one of many possible approaches to structure your half hour, and that is triage. Triage is all about decision-making. It provides a simple structure to guide you, and it depends on quick, resolute judgments that you act on right away. In the medical world, triage is used when there are many patients and limited resources. This would typically be on a battlefield. Care is denied to those who will probably not live, so that resources can help more patients who probably will live. I can guarantee you that you don't have enough resources to manage all the stuff that's currently in your life. So you need triage. Becoming skilled at it, which is also known as ruthless decision-making, means more of your time and energy goes to the important stuff. That's what it's all about. Triage breaks down into 3 categories, according to our friends at Wikipedia. 1 is those who are likely to live, regardless of what care they receive. 2 is those who are likely to die, regardless of what care they receive. And 3, those for whom immediate care might make a positive difference in outcome. On your desk, this means Category 1 is stuff you like and need that will be put away. Category 2 is stuff you don't like or need and that you can immediately decide to ditch. And Category 3, stuff that you need to deal with right now, so it doesn't die. Here's the half-hour plan. Remember, triage is speedy because lives are at stake. The more quickly you make decisions, the clearer your desk will stay. I can't emphasize this too much. The more you can get quick at making decisions, the more time you're going to have in general. You may not get through your whole desk in half an hour, but you'll complete a section rather than just rearranging the piles. If you have a lot of paper, choose a small area, perhaps just a section of your desk. Triage will get you through the purging and decision-making. And then I've added some post-30-minute cleanup suggestions if you want to keep going. In a hospital, triage patients are sent to different areas depending on their category. On the battlefield, they're simply marked with colored tags. On your desk, you can use Post-its to mark your piles. Allow enough room for sorted piles. A card table is great, but the floor will work too. Here's phase 1. This is what we call the gross sort. Not a fine sort, a gross sort. You are deciding whether these papers belong to category 1, 2, or 3. You'll need a timer, 2 piling spots, and containers for recycling and shredding. Set your timer for 15 minutes. Start with the pile on the left side of your desk and move across to the right without skipping over anything. Be like a minesweeper. Don't let your eyes wander. Each time your gaze passes over the desk, your mind starts to run in different directions and you get distracted. Try to focus on one thing at a time. Here's an idea to help with that. Take a pile to your sorting area with your back to the desk so that you can't see the other piles. This is why it's a great idea to do this on a card table and have just that activity going on there, so there's nothing else that's going to distract you visually. Pick up the first item in the first pile and ask yourself, is this category 1, 2, or 3? Don't read or think too much about it, unless you truly don't even know what it is. But you really only need to identify it for now. Quickly define each using these questions. Do I need it? Do I want it? Can I ditch it? Is it too late? If you can't decide, choose category 1. Put it into the pile for category 1 or bag, whatever you're going to be using. And then repeat this on each piece of paper until the timer goes off. Now, take pile 2 and toss it in the recycling. That one's gone now. Now here's phase 2. You're going to set the timer for 10 minutes this time. Sort the paper in category 1 by topic. If a topic does not come to mind, ask yourself why you're keeping the item. When you go to look for it again, you'll think, where is the information about fill in the blank? What if somebody asked you, do you know where the fill in the blank is? And use that word. That's how you come up with ways to categorize things. That's also a really good way to come up with file names. Choose broad categories for this sort. We still aren't getting too fine yet. It's much easier to look for a particular item in 5 possible folders than in 50 possible folders. Right now, you'll just create separate piles for each topic. Label the piles with Post-its. If you run out of room, stack the piles alternating horizontal and vertical to keep them separated. Okay, after you do the triage, here's a bonus activity. File! If your file cabinet is a disaster area, consider getting a temporary file box you can use until you can revamp it. That way, your newly sorted papers won't get lost again. Note that you will probably have a stack of keepers that you want to read. Those don't get filed, but they need to go somewhere where you'll see them and read them. Okay, here's phase 3. Now you're going to set your timer for 5 minutes. Now we've come to category 3. You're in the home stretch. These papers were out on the desk because you've been using them to remind you to do something, and this is not an effective strategy. You need a list. A list allows you to see at a glance what all those to-dos are. When they're piled up or spread out, you can't get the whole picture. Your to-do list can be in a notebook or on a pad of paper, in your phone, a whiteboard, on your wherever you'd be most likely to look for it. For each reminder, each paper reminder, create a to-do entry instead. A to-do for a stack of marketing letters is going to be address the envelope, stuff them, including business cards, get stamps, put them on, take them to the mailbox. Here are to-dos for an event flyer. Add the event to the calendar, make a note to RSVP if you need to on the calendar several days before. Here's the to-do for a pile of business cards. Enter into your computer contacts list or put into an alphabetized card box if you still keep one of those. Here's your to-do for information about, say, a frequent flyer program. Read it right now, see if there's any time-limited offers that you want, or just throw it out because you can get any other information from their website. Now, you may be thinking that your to-do list is going to get unmanageably long. Yes, it will. But it's not any longer than it was in your head or spread out around the house. This is a reality check, and it's a good thing to do. Because before all these things were on the list, you were by turns overwhelmed and in denial about how much you had to do. Now you can see it in black and white. This is your current reality. Say hello to it. When it's all in one place, you can make informed decisions about what you will and will not do. You can actually prioritize. Okay, so when the timer runs out, we're in the post-triage section. Here's some other hints. Make looking at your to-do list a habit. You could send yourself email reminders, phone reminders, and again, wherever you keep your list is up to you. The important part is looking at it, having one place to look for all your tasks. If you have years of backlog, which you might after you've gotten everything rounded up, the whittling down might go slowly. That's just the way it is. Use triage as often as you need it. Setting a timer is a great idea because it helps you stay focused and speedy and not find yourself deep in reading an hour later. A timer is also good to reassure you that you're going to be free of this tedium pretty soon, because you can stop when the timer goes off. Make sure to keep up with current paper so it doesn't become part of the backlog. That is, don't stack new paper on top of old piles. Spend your first 5 minutes of triage taking care of the new stuff. This will go a long way to keeping you out of trouble today. An unexpected benefit of this method is that you may be inspired to keep less stuff once you realize how much work it is to keep it all organized. Remember, it's your stuff, you're in charge. So here are the takeaways from this method. Honor the time limits. If you put off organizing paper because it seems like it's going to take forever, limiting the time you spend is your secret weapon. You really will make progress, and you have permission to stop when the timer goes off. Stay focused. People tend to want to attack everything at once. Then they quickly realize that they can't organize the entire desk in 5 minutes and they get discouraged. So use the Minesweeper technique to clear your desk from left to right. Or, as I mentioned before, take a pile and turn away from the desk so all that stuff doesn't distract you while you work on that one pile. And definitely stay current. You can use this technique on the box in the corner, but you don't want to fall behind in your current paperwork. That's just going to make the backlog even bigger. Part of the point of this exercise is to keep you current enough so that you'll have time to tackle that box. Here's what you can do right now. Set up your triage spot. If you have a lot on your desk, find a separate surface to work on with your piles that's free of distractions. Set yourself up with a timer, Post-its, a pen, and places for recycling and shredding. All right, thanks for listening. Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach. If you like the show, I'd love it if you'd leave a rating and review in iTunes. You can subscribe, too, so the podcast will be ready and waiting for you to listen to it. The show is available on SoundCloud and Stitcher as well. And you'll find the show notes on my blog at www.cluttercoach.net. And again, please come visit me on livecoach.io and get that gift certificate while the offer lasts. LiveCoach offers a money-back guarantee after your first month, so there's no risk. See you next time.